Okay, now this is a little bit of fun because I'm going to show you a trick I have to kind of give the animation a bit more of a staccato stop motion effect. So in its current state, the animation's very fluid. Well, what if I wanted to make this feel a little bit more like stop motion? It's a toy, so why not? We're having fun here. So one technique I've discovered is to first start by setting up an attribute. So we're going to put down a wrangle. And let's start by coming up here and adding a simple expression. So I'm going to type in int step equals chi parentheses, and then I'm going to put quotation marks and another parenthesis, and then I'm going to go inside and give this a label. Let's call it frame step. And essentially what this is doing is, if you look at this chi, it's going to generate an integer based on our input. So if we click this, it's going to create a spare parameter. And you can see this is generating this frame step, which is being plugged into the variable step. Okay, and I'll just set it to 2 for now. Doesn't really matter, but... So go ahead and go to the next line. And we're going to type in float stepped underscore frame equals floor open parentheses, another open parentheses, at frame minus 1, closed parentheses, divided by step, close parentheses. And then we're going to multiply that by step plus 1. And then top that off with a semicolon. So this formula works by grouping frames into chunks based on your step size, freezing the value on the first frame of that chunk, and then instantly skipping ahead to the next interval. Let's go a line down and say f at stepped time equals stepped frame. And the last thing we want to do is we want to go up here and run this only over as a detail. So it's only happening once. And we can go down to the geometry spreadsheet and take a look at our detail attribute. And then if I go out and scrub, essentially it's sticking to specific keyframes based on this frame step value. And then once it reaches a certain threshold, it jumps to the next value. So if I bring this all the way up to 5, for example, you'll see it's sticking in increments of 5. But right now it's just creating this attribute. So we need to actually make this do something. So I'm going to go under the attribute wrangle and add a time shift. And then go ahead and open that up. And in here, I'm going to right click and say delete channel. And we're going to type in an expression, detail, open parenthesis, 0, comma, and then in between 2 quotation marks, I'm going to type in stepped time, which is our attribute, and then comma, 0, close parentheses. Okay, and all this is doing is taking the detail attribute from the first input, which is stepped time, and it's setting it to this frame. So now if we click out and we start dragging, you will see that staccato motion that we were talking about. Now, because we have it set to 5, you can see it's really, really stepping our animation. It's a little too much for my taste. So let's go back up to our wrangle and let's change this to 2. And let's go ahead and try it again. Oh, and I'm just going to select it. There we go. This looks much better. Okay, let me do a little bit of cleanup. I'm going to move these 2 over. And then I'm going to just add a switch node, just in case I want to be able to switch back and forth between the original or the stop motion effect. So if it's set to 0, it's just going to pass through what we originally had. And if it's set to 1, then we'll get that nice staccato stop motion.